Now it's time for me to start streaming. Yay. Okay, let's see what I gotta do. Oh. First I gotta pause stream, because that's obviously what I gotta do. Okay. Oh, the buff flip explode meme is so perfect. When is it ever not applicable? Honestly. Honestly. Send now. Perfect. Hello. Let me listen to this. See how this sounds. Let's see what I gotta do. Oh. First I gotta pause stream, because that's obviously what I gotta do. Well, there's music going on in the background. Perfect. Okay, there's music going on in the background there. Yeah, everything looks good to me. This title may conflict with Twitch's moderation policy. Whoops, I'm so forked. LMFAO. There we go. I'm so forked. LMAFO. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. I'm such a great streamer, aren't I? Anyway, hello. My name is Pan Moran, your typical night terror who is here to haunt your waking days. Oh my god, listen to my voice! Don't I sound so much better? It's actually kind of crazy how much better I sound. I wasn't expecting to be recovered enough to stream, but here I am. I really wasn't expecting that. Kind of crazy. Man, it's been a rough few weeks for me. And I'm honestly so tired. Like, it's just so much has been happening, you know? Hold on, let me fix this. Maybe that's better? Yeah. There's been so much going on lately. It's like things keep happening. And I'm like, when does it stop? Like, I'm sitting here trying to live my life, trying to, you know, get stuff together. And it's like, hey, on your left, on your right, on your middle, up your ass. It's just like, it doesn't stop. It doesn't. And I'm losing it, bestie. I'm losing it. Oh my god. As for what has been going on the past few weeks, which actually is probably the past few months at this point. So about a month and a half ago, it started with my electric bill, you see. For whatever reason, my apartment complex, for whatever reason, I looked at my electric bill and I was like, okay, wait a second. Why is my electric bill almost $1,000. And I reach out to my apartment complex and I'm like, hey, I think something's wrong with my electricity because it's saying it's like $1,000. And they're like, hey, contact the electric company. And so I call the electric company and they're like, hey, we'll get somebody out there with the meter to check. And I'm like, okay. And I do some investigating on my own because I now realize that they don't give a shit. They're not going to do anything on their own. They're going to make me look into it myself, figure things out myself, and then that's it. So I start looking into it and I'm like, okay, let's see what's going on here. And I look at my electric bill and I look at how it's broken down. And as I'm looking through it, I'm like, okay, it's saying that there's like $700 in heating bills here. That's not normal, especially because I like it cold in my apartment. I never have the heat on. So I'm like, okay, let me see what's going on. And so I start messing with the thermostat. I turn it off. The heat is still going while the thermostat is off. And I go, oh, I see. So the issue is that my thermostat is not making the heater turn off. So it's just constantly running. And I had tried having the maintenance people come over. And I had tried having them be like, hey, or having them check on things. And apparently they did while I was asleep. And they're like, oh yeah, it was just, it's just that you guys hadn't replaced your filter. That's obviously what it was. And I'm like, no, it's not. So they came back in. And this was like half an hour before they closed on a Friday. And they're like, okay, sure. You're saying it wasn't your filter. So obviously you're just lying here. So we're gonna take a quick look to make you feel a bit better. But chances are it's you that's the issue here. And they start looking around. They're like, oh shit, this is bad. And they start fixing it. And what happened was the entire thermostat had broken. So any signal that would come into the thermostat was not affecting the heater at all. So they had to install a completely new one. And I said, hey, was any of this my fault? And they said, no. And I said, okay, cool. So I call my apartment complex and I'm like, hey, apartment complex, can you guys help me out with my bill? Because you guys were the ones that fucked me over. Because of you guys, I had tried getting them out there all week. And at first I'd been told, oh, they can't come check on the HVAC unit because of the temperature. And oh, they can't come inside because blah, 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 blah. And it was just excuses all throughout the week until they finally showed up suddenly on Thursday while I was asleep and didn't let me know or anything, fixed my filter and called it a day. And then that Friday they came back and they're like, oh no, it was actually the thermostat, my bad. And I'm like, okay, that's great. Can you guys help me? And they say, ha ha ha, fuck you. That's your bill, not ours. And they're like, oh, but guess what? Your electric company has things in place that can help you. And I'm like, okay. So I call the electric company and they're like, yeah, we have things in place that can help you. And they send me the number to a church. And I go, huh? They're like, yeah, ask the church for money. And I go, this is the payment help that you guys offer? Is a church? I don't know how to I don't even know how to react to that. I'm like, what do you mean? Just a church? They're like, yeah, just call this church and show them a copy of your bill, and they'll be willing to help you out. And I'm like, hi, Nova Walsh, welcome in. I'm currently complaining about the capitalist society that we are in and the fact that my apartment complex was refusing to help me on an electric bill that was a result of their own negligence. And they're like, oh yeah, the electric company has, you know, ways to help you with your payments. And I'm like, okay, let me call the electric company. And the electric company's like, yeah, we do. To get assistance, just call this number. It's a church. And I'm like, y'all want me to call a church to get help with my payment plan? And they're like, yeah, just call the church and they'll help you pay off your bill. And that sounds fucking insane to me. I don't think I'm crazy for that. They're like, yeah, we don't have anything actually to help you, even though you've been a customer with us for almost 10 years. No, we don't have anything like that. What we do have is the number to a church. And I was like, it really happened? Yeah, this happened. And it still blows my mind because I don't understand why my apartment complex was so confidently stating, yeah, your electric company has options to help you with your payment plan. And the option for the payment plan is some random church. It doesn't make any sense. I know churches are supposed to be there to help the community, but that sounds crazy to me. Like, why? But I ended up just taking the L. I tried asking again because the bill that I got, it passed over through like 2 months. Like, it was from January 23rd to March 13th, I think. And I was like, hey guys, can you help me with that bill? Since that was, you know, more accurately during the time period of when things got reported and blah, 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 blah. And they're like, I'm just going to leave you on read and not respond to you. Did I make this VTuber? I helped with the design for the VTuber. My artist mama, Papiliomare, she is the one that drew the reference and everything and helped me with the full design of the character. This is kind of a character that was and is an OC of me. That I've kind of just developed into a VTuber persona. And then, what is it? For the logo, I actually commissioned that from somebody. Yeah. I'm actually planning on upgrading, or I'm working on some stuff later on in the future. I'm not interested in having any conversations regarding services or commissions in the chat. This is a chat about my stream, not about your commissions. Okay, I'm officially going to be blocking you now. Yay! Don't you guys love it whenever you're just trying to live stream and you're like, oh, look, I might have an actual new viewer. And it's just another AI brobot who's like, hey, I have commissions open. You should buy stuff from me. You should definitely do that. Oh my god, what if you buy something from me? Like, this is my content in my place, not a place for you to be offering commissions. And honestly, I need to figure out how to add rules to my channel, because I want to do the thing where when you join a Twitch chat, it says like a list of the rules, and then you have to hit OK, and then after you hit OK, then you're able to chat. Because it's definitely going to say no talking of commissions. That's going to be right up there. No promoting yourself. Like, it's all just really dumb having to deal with that type of thing on here. Oh, you know what? I need some water. But yeah, like, when dealing with the electric company thing, that's what the electric company and my apartment complex both told me. They're like, yeah, you're able to get help from the church. And that's their official plan. That's their fix, is, yeah, just call the church. They'll help you pay for it. And that sounded... I didn't do that because I don't know the details about it. I don't know if I'm going to have to pay them back at like a major price up. I don't know if they're going to force me to do like community service at the church. I don't know if this is something that's only for people that are troubled and who are in a less fortunate situation, because it hurts. It hurts a lot to have $1,000 electric bill. However, it was not going to make me go homeless because of it. I still have a job. I'm still able to work. I still have my, regular 40-hour week job. And my roommate still has their regular 40-hour week job. So it wasn't something that was going to kill us. But it was something that was just going to hurt a lot. And if there is somebody out there that needed that more, I didn't feel comfortable taking that from them. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I just didn't feel comfortable taking that from them. Trying to think about what else happened. So yeah, I ended up just eating both bills. And both bills together were like, I want to say they were like $1,700, $1,800 after both months. And they sucked. They really sucked. But I paid them off. It sucked so much. But the good news is that we paid it off. Besides that, I really hate the apartment complex. Like, I feel like when you're a landlord, and especially in like a capitalist society, you're more like, there's so many rules that make it so that you don't need to be a decent person. Like, oh, hey, I'm sorry, it's my fault that your guy's electric bill went up $1,000. It makes sense to decrease the rent for that amount, to even it out and take the L, because you're the one that fucked up. Instead of saying, no, that's your fault. And instead letting the person that's renting from you getting saddled with the bill. And of course, there's like no laws, no anything that can help out. And I'm sure there's like, I had this one friend who always said, yeah, but this is illegal. This, like, all of this stuff is very illegal and you can get somebody to help you. And I said, okay, so think this out. If I go to a lawyer and I say, hey lawyer, I need help suing my apartment complex, what do you think is going to happen faster? The apartment complex shoving a spike up my ass to get me evicted, or me being able to get enough information for the lawyer to stop them from doing so in retaliation. Just because stuff is legal doesn't mean people aren't going to do it anyway. And that's kind of just what sucks about what we're dealing with, because bureaucracy is so slow. It's so slow that people can retaliate and screw you over in 1,000 different ways before they even have to see you in court. Like, by the time I would have gotten in court, it probably would have been 2-3 months down the line. It only takes a month for you to be evicted. And then at that point, I have to spend all my money on finding a new place, which I can't spend on the lawyer anymore, which then means that I'll have to, like, find a way to have the money to move, find the money to... And I don't even know if I would be able to move, because the apartment would probably put an eviction on my record for it. Is it legal? No. Would they do it? Yes. People are vindictive, whether they're in the right or wrong. There's no such thing as actual good in the universe. I appreciate the people that want to do good and want to be good, but laws are not written for us to benefit from them. So that just really sucked. That entire situation sucked a lot. And I really hated, like, that few months that I was going through that. I'm really, really happy that I no longer have to worry about that either. Because for the longest amount of time, I really was thinking that, like, we were going to have to go into debt for the electric bills. But I've been doing enough overtime in my job, my day job, that I was able to catch up with it, and we're breaking even again. And it feels nice knowing, okay, we're breaking even and things are going good. And that's just been so tiring. Speaking of tiring, I've been sick the past, like, week. Like, I've been sick since last Friday, I think. I talked about it a little bit on my Court Keeper stream with Inky, Alicia, and Val, which I will also remind you, that stream does not have their audio in it because I fucked up. I done forked up, buddies. I'm so smarkalicious. It sucked. It sucked so much. Basically on Friday, I had D&D with my friends. The Dungeon Master at the time had scheduled it and was like, hey, and we all met up. We all got there to D&D. And that day, as we're sitting down, the Dungeon Master's like, hey, everybody, just so you know, I'm not sick. I just have really, really bad allergies. And we're like, okay. And, of course, I know some people that just have really, really bad allergies. It happens to everybody. But because I am immunocompromised, I tend to like, kind of sit back and trust what other people say. So if somebody's like, yeah, it's just allergies, I'll be like, okay, sure. Except in this case, it wasn't. So, the DM has their allergies, we go through the whole session, everything's good, we all go home, and then I have dinner with my mom on, Saturday. And she looks at me and she's like, hey, Pan, is your face swollen? And I'm really bad at judging my own face and judging how I look. So I'm like, is it? I can't tell. I literally can't. And she was like, yeah, I swear it is. Your face is usually round, but it looks like rectangular right now. And like, I was like, okay, that's weird. I don't feel anything weird. And as I touched it, I started feeling like little sensitive bits, like where the thyroid glands are. I think that's where they are. And I'm like, that's weird. I wonder what's going on. And then Sunday, I go into work and I'm like, oh man, I don't feel good. I'm like having really bad migraines. My body is like aching all over. I go home and I can't stand up. And I'm sitting there like struggling to move. I'm like, anytime I stand up, it feels like the world is spinning. I get super lightheaded. It feels like my eyes are just going, my field of vision is just going to a single point. All of those at the same time. So I'm moving slowly. I'm like feeling terrible. I lay down. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm not dealing with this. And I'm like, hey boss, I'm not going to be into work tomorrow because I'm not feeling good. And my boss is like, okay, feel better, because I don't usually take time off work. Like, if I enjoy my job enough, I don't take time off work. I will go to my job, even if I'm not feeling too well, like a migraine or a headache, or I need a personal mental day, I'll still go, because the stress of not having the money is more stressful to me than like the stress of feeling bad, I guess. So I was like, okay, I'm going to rest up for the day, and I slept for most of that day. I got up, I felt terrible. I felt like I was dying. I felt like I got hit by 50 semi-trucks. And I was like, okay, never mind. I tried taking a shower. I tried blowing my nose. My mom got me some Mucinex. I tried everything, and I was like, I just was not able to handle any of it. And I was already planning to take off Tuesday because I had something else planned. So Tuesday rolls around. I didn't go into work that day either, which my boss was expecting. So that's normal. Wednesday rolls around. I still don't go into work. And my boss is like, Pan, are you gonna be okay? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, every time I stand up, I can't move. If I try to move, I start falling over, and I just can't stop falling over. And my boss is like, okay, that's not good. Maybe you need to go to like an urgent care. And I'm like, you're right, I do. But I couldn't go that Wednesday because I slept most of the day that the urgent care would have been open. So I just slept through all that, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do it first thing in the morning. I'm going to get up, I'm going to go in, and I'm going to be like, hey, help me. And so next day happens. Hold on a second. I have some fruit in front of me that I want to eat. Yummy fruit. This is actually really good. I'm eating some peaches in strawberry jello. I love peaches. I love strawberries. So the combo's great. Okay, that's better. So, I slept through most of the day Wednesday because, of course, I'm still not feeling good. Randomly, during those days, I had been hanging out with Inky and Ellie, just playing Core Keeper, because we, on our first stream, we beat Glurch, and we were like, okay, we beat Glurch, all cool, we can go fight Gorm next stream. But then we ended up getting busy, and I ended up getting sick, so instead we just kept preparing our base for when we could fight Gorm. But yeah, I just was not feeling good. So Thursday morning I get up at like 7:30 a.m. I go to urgent care and I'm like, hey doc, I'm not feeling good. Like, it feels like I can't hear out of both ears. I'm not able to see. I'm not able to think. I'm not able to breathe. And every other word I say is followed by coughing. And the doctor looks in my ears and goes, oh, it looks like you have a severe ear infection in this ear. And then she goes to the other ear and she goes, oh shit. And that's when I knew I was fucked. I knew I was fucking... When the doctor looks in your ear and goes, oh shit, it's done. It's done. So I was like, okay, I understand that I'm super fucked. And they're like checking the rest of my body and they're like, okay, so you have 2 severe ear infections, which they didn't call severe ear infections. They called it by the medical diagnosis because of how severe it was. And I was like, okay. So yeah, the 2 severe ear infections, a sinus infection, and also the inner part of my mouth was covered in sores because of these infections and how it was like treating my gums or something like that. And so I was at a point where I couldn't eat either. I couldn't eat anything except for soft foods. So obviously all of that is terrible. Absolutely terrible. And I remember they're like, okay, so you have a few options here. Because of the severity of this, we want you to take this. And I'm like looking at it and I'm like, I know at the time my brain was not working. My brain wasn't working at all because the doctor was telling me her plan for treating me and it was just going over my head. Like, none of it was actually clicking or computing for me. And I was like, what? Like, I had to have her repeat herself multiple times. And then she's like, okay, we're going to get you on steroids as well as antibiotics. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah, antibiotics, you're going to take twice a day for 10 days. Okay. And then she's like, as for the steroids, you're going to take 6 of them today. And I said, huh? And she said, yes, you are going to be taking 6 steroids today. Huh? It's one of those things where you don't realize how severe it is until you're there and you're like, oh, I'm probably dying or something. But yeah, she was like, yeah, it's time for you to take your 6 steroid pills. And I was like, oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, doc. I love this. And, so I ended up leaving there. I had all of that medicine for myself. And I actually had my mom pick it up for me and deliver it to my place so that I could take it. I went to the doctor at 8 a.m., got my medicine around 1 p.m. that day, around the time I usually wake up anyway. to get ready for work and eat and all of that, because I work from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. And so I'm like, okay, I have my meds. I can start taking them now. And I did. I was like, okay, I have my, I'm starting my doses of pills. And honestly, the first day I didn't really feel much of a difference. Friday, I didn't feel too much of a difference either. Saturday, I actually felt a lot better. And then Sunday, I felt better than that. And then we got to today, where, okay, this is going to be gross and a bit TMI, but I was sitting there and I was minding my own business. My mouth sores have finally healed enough for me to be able to eat more solid food, and I was like, fuck it, I'm getting some food. I'm getting myself a burger. I'm hungry. And so I go get myself a burger. And and I'm like, okay, it's time for me to eat. And I'm eating and I'm eating and I'm like, oh, that was great. That was wonderful. And then I'm sitting there drinking some sweet tea. And then as I breathe, this giant bubble leaves my mouth of just straight up gunk. And I coughed that out, spit that shit out into the trash can. My voice is back. So I'm guessing whatever that was either straight up in my lungs or over my voice cords, making it so I couldn't talk. Terrifying. It was terrifying. So anyway, I feel a lot better. But of course, I come into work and there's bullshit afoot. There's always bullshit afoot. So, as you know, I had every single day off except for Sunday last week. I came in to work this week on Sunday feeling much, much better. My voice was very hoarse, but I felt like a god compared to the last few days. And so I was like, okay, that's fine. Let me go ahead and work, have my regular day, blah, blah, blah. Monday rolls around and I come in, which was this morning, and they're like, hey, oh, hey, Pan, welcome in. Oh, it's good that you're feeling good. By the way, the termites are back. What? What the fuck do you mean the termites are back? What? I was gone for a week. Where? Huh? So apparently, during the week I was gone, while people were working, there was like, people were very confused because they saw paper falling from a vent. And they looked, and it's not paper, it's termites. White termites. I don't know what that means, but it was white termites. And they're like, and so they get pest control out there. Pest control goes up there and goes, I can't see anything. And then they leave. So the absolute laziest person, like you can very clearly see the dead bodies of all of the frickin' termites on the ground in my office. And whatever person came in was just like, I don't see anything. Sorry. Nothing there. Which is insane to me. That's just insane. And so, what I ended up doing, or no, not what I ended up doing. What they ended up doing was just leaving. They didn't finish their job. They just left because they couldn't see anything. And I'm like, if you can very clearly see the proof of the termites having been there, just because you can't see them now you should be able to know to keep looking until you find them. You shouldn't just leave. But apparently they were gone for the rest of the week last week. And so everyone was like, okay, I wonder what happened. I wonder if it, because things cooled down, maybe the termites went away. No. You see, on Monday, everyone comes in and there's termites everywhere on the floor. They're like pouring from the fucking ceiling vent, which luckily I don't sit anywhere near a ceiling vent. I sit all the way in a fucking like corner, basically. It's like a middle corner. And like the termites were falling onto people's stuff, and everybody else got evacuated because their jobs were not exactly necessary to what was happening. Of course, I had to stay. So I'm like, okay, sure, this is great. I have had two severe ear infections, one sinus infection, ulcers throughout my fucking mouth, and I come back to work to have a termite infestation. I'm gonna kill myself in Minecraft. It's insane. Ugh. So it was so annoying. I'm so annoyed. So I have to stay at work while all this stuff is happening. They're planning to have another pest control person come out to actually handle it, because just saying, I don't see anything over and over again, even though you can see the dead bodies, is useless. Useless. And I'm sure I'm going to have an update at some other point. But as of right now, I have fucking nothing. God. Oh, that reminds me, actually. I was thinking about how I've been playing a lot of Core Keeper lately. One thing I've actually been doing is checking... Let's see... Okay, so I had been playing Core Keeper a lot lately. I actually want to... I actually want to get to a point in my own private world where I end up getting really close to beating the game on my own, just because I haven't actually done that before. So, honestly, when I play games, I really like going for gimmicks. So for example, in Core Keeper, there's this armor you can get called stone pants, stone chest plate, and like a sentry helm. And if you wear them all, you look like one of the enemies called a core sentry. And those core sentries are like these big robots that defend ruins and stuff. And obviously that sounds awesome. But the issue with it is that when you dress up like that, it shows your player's hands. So you're just seeing this, like, you know, entirely gray body, like stone gray body, and then a human skin tone of varying degree, just shooting out his hands. And I don't like that. I want to be able to cosplay and do gimmick things. And so in my own personal Core Keeper world, what I'm actually doing is I'm doing a kind of like a wooden core. So the main core area is going to be made out of gleam wood. It's going to have paths of regular wood, and on the left side of the core is all turf, and on the right side is all meadows. And then on the outside, I'm going to have coral at some point. That's my plan, at least. It's just... it's really crazy thinking about how long it took me to come up with this type of gimmick idea. Because I ended up going for... the vanity pieces I ended up picking were all Warden pieces. Because I was like, you know what, let me try doing like a partner pet build. Where you have like your pet and it's your primary source of attacking. So that's what I'm trying right now. I'm very excited to see how that goes. I don't usually play things single player very often, which goes to show just how addicted I am to Core Keeper, that I'm doing this on my own without other people around, at least. Hold on one second, I will be right back. Sorry about that, I had to go blow my nose. I am still slowly recovering and whatnot. I still have quite a few doses of my antibiotics left as well. But yeah, lately I've been playing Core Keeper to kind of vibe. Oh god, what was I saying? It's just been something I've been doing to vibe while I haven't been feeling good. I'm probably gonna pop it open after stream too, just for a little bit of hangout time. Honestly, and I think part of the reason too is it's been a very slow time in the content sphere that I watch lately. Like, I've been, oftentimes I watch clips on YouTube, and there hasn't been many clips that have been, really exciting me lately. I know a lot of people have been playing Schedule 1, which I'm like, okay, but I don't think I'd ever play that unless if I had friends to play with. Yeah, so a lot of things has been kind of quiet on YouTube. Like, I'm usually the type of person that likes to watch me some good Heavenly or Froggy or Michi clips. They're just all really fucking funny. And I just have not been seeing as many ones that have caught my attention lately. And it's the same thing with, like, games. Games that I'm watching people play. There hasn't been much that's been interesting me. Which makes me curious if I just need to sit back and watch a Schedule 1 playthrough or something. I know people have also been playing Monster Hunter, which, oh my god. I'm still so mad that I'm literally missing... I need 2 more gigs of RAM to be able to play Monster Hunter. And my laptop does not facilitate that for me. I'm so mad. I'm so mad about that. It's so frustrating knowing that the only reason I can't play the same thing all my other friends are playing is because of that. Oh, that does remind me. My friend Inky, she's actually going to WeebCon in Texas. And as you guys know, I am in Texas. I was going to go and try to meet her to hang out, but with me being sick, I just don't think I'll be able to anymore. And it makes me really fucking mad, because I was like, yeah, we'll go get something to eat, we'll hang out, it's gonna be fucking awesome. No. I have been shot in the face 58 times. Yeah, I really wanted to go. I really did. Also, I like how apparently this is considered my eyes are closed. Even though they are open. I just need to have them open wider, I guess. Maybe this would help? I don't know. Weird. Yeah, I have the light pointed at me. But it's a bit weird. But yeah, since, I don't think there's really been anything interesting for me to watch lately, so I'm like, man, I want to get back into making content and doing stuff, you know, being productive. Oh, that's right, I forgot about this. Okay. So hear me out. Hear me out. Okay. I know there's a lot of VTubers that talk about their previous inspirations. Here's my thing. A lot of my inspirations have not been canceled, which I feel very lucky to say, because I have some good friends of mine who over a decade ago were, and I mean over a decade ago, were big Cry fans. Cryotic, I think that person's name was. And then, of course, all that stuff happened, and then they got heartbroken. And I'm like, I still never watched a single thing from Cry. Hi, Enchantel. Hi, welcome into chat. But, when it comes to who I grew up watching the Creatures and the Super Best Friends. Is this a gaming stream? No, it should be a just chatting stream. Please tell me it says just chatting. Please tell me it says just chatting. Please, I don't want to crash out right now. Manage stream. Okay, good. It does say just chatting. Thank God. But yeah, this is a just chatting stream. I'm just been yapping because I haven't really done that in a long time. But yeah, I grew up with Rooster Teeth, of course. Achievement Hunter, RWBY. In fact, one of my... Oh wait, no, let me continue first. I've been a fan of Achievement Hunter and Rooster Teeth and all of them since maybe 2008, I want to say. 2008 or 9. I watched Super Best Friends whenever they first started airing on Machinima. I watched The Creatures as well. All the way from before they were The Creatures. They had this podcast with... Sawtooth Kitty and some other people in it. Um, I think there might have been some other groups I followed, but those were the primary three groups. The Creatures, Rooster Teeth, and Super Best Friends. And honestly, with Rooster Teeth, they really kind of not only pigeonholed themselves, but their content kind of just started slipping and started not being as good as it could be. And a lot of that was going from the freedom of being more independent to instead going under a giant company like Warner Brothers or Full Screen. I think it was the first one they went under. But I remember, I think I have maybe watched the first... Oh my god, let me actually check. I want to check how many episodes of the Rooster Teeth podcast there is. Oh, there's 798. Okay, so that's not as far-fetched as I was going to say. I was going to say, I think when it comes to the Rooster Teeth podcast, I've watched all of the first 500. And this includes the Drunk Tank as well. Because I remember when I got my first job while I was in school, I would listen to the Drunk Tank all the time. And it would just help me get through the whole day. I would download all of the podcasts onto my MP3 player, and I'd listen to that while I sorted through files at my mom's lawyer office and blah, blah, blah. That's what I would do. And then I remember I also met Monty Ohm at one of the Dallas Comic-Con conventions. I remember that. He always was a really big inspiration for me, and I really wanted to get into 3D animation because of him. That's why I got my degree. But then ever since he passed, it just kind of dwindled. I always knew I wanted to get into some type of content creation, some type of entertainment. I don't know if I wanted to be the writer, the music maker, the artist, the animator. I never knew what I really wanted to be, but I knew I wanted to be something in that aspect. And that's a lot of what Rooster Teeth helped me realize. And that's why one of my goals for after I got out of college was to join Rooster Teeth. And I did. I did try my best. I did intern with them for a little bit, but I was not able to get a full-time job, which sucks. You know, it sucks, but it's also, oh well. You know? Life goes on. Life goes on. You constantly get better. And after college, things were just kind of rough for me. I ended up going through a period of time where I was surviving instead of living. And I kind of just fell off of that dream. But speaking of content creation, that brings me back to the Creatures and the Super Best Friends. I watched the Creatures for a very long period of time. I've been a big fan of Sly Foxhound, Uber Haxor Nova, Immortal HD. Immortal HD wasn't even part of the Creatures at the time. Golden Blackhawk, Spoonerism. There was so many members of the Creatures. Gassy Mexican, Seamus, which it's very entertaining. Let me put it this way. It's very entertaining where things end up going. So back when I used to watch a lot of the Creatures, I thought it was really cool how there was this like friend group that got to know each other so well, started hanging out, started monetizing their business. And a lot of people always say that whenever you turn friendship into a business, things fall apart. And honestly, those three examples that I listed, the super best friends, the creatures, and Rooster Teeth, all have completely different examples of it falling apart. Rooster Teeth kind of fell apart because it got separated from its foundation a lot, I feel like. And the biggest thing was also just the drama that happened with Ryan Haywood. Shitty person, absolutely shitty person. But the things that he did created such a negative light on the rest of the company that it caused it to go in downward momentum so much faster. Which that's part of an issue of having content that's derived from, you know, personalities so strongly. And they ultimately failed because, you know, they started working with bigger companies that have investors that say, what's the point of this company that only works on the internet? Because they don't realize how important the internet is. You can tell that especially from Markiplier working with Amazon for The Edge of Sleep. I watched that. That was really good. I'm excited for either a movie or a season 2. But they were like, listen, Markiplier, my boy. You are too naive to the status of Hollywood. And obviously, you're never going to take off. And so they're like, yeah, sure. If you get number 1 for so many days, blah, blah, blah. And then he did. And they're like, well, that's some bullshit that you did that. And they didn't understand how that was possible. They don't understand the loyalty of having somebody... I don't know how to describe this. They don't understand the idea of having somebody that you want to root for and support so much that you're willing to do something to help them. And, you know, that, all that stuff that Ryan Haywood did in Achievement Hunter, that really betrayed the trust of a lot of people. Because, you look back at the stories that the Achievement Hunters told of Ryan, like, going out, doing other things, coming back, and it was right there in front of them for a long period of time, and they just didn't notice. And I know they felt betrayed. The community felt betrayed too, though. You know? It's not exactly something that anyone is able to rebound from when you're so fucking hurt from something like that. And that's kind of why they had that downward spiral. Because when you start working with a big company, big companies don't understand the impact of the internet. But they might be starting to understand it now, but even then, you still have people that don't. Hi Pretzis, hello. We're doing good, just yapping about childhood YouTubers and content we used to watch. Which brings me over to the creatures, you know? They kind of fell apart because they did not actually have a democratic system in place. They had somebody that was in charge, and that person in charge, it was their way or the highway. Which was really bad because people get power hungry, people start ignoring their own rules, and betraying all of their friends' trusts. And that's kind of what ended up happening in that scenario. Honestly, the best case scenario was Super Best Friends. They are entertaining whenever they're together. No matter which duo is together, they are the most entertaining people ever. Even if all 4 is together, They are amazing. They're hilarious. I love their content. I've watched every single one of their videos. And the day that I heard that Matt and Pat are no longer friends, I looked to myself and I said, this is probably the best possible outcome for a a best friend to corpo group is splitting off because of that. No drama, no hate, just, hey, we're no longer friends. We don't really want to hang out anymore. And that's so valid of them. I really appreciate how that happened, because that's just one big example of a way things can actually go well. And the reason I bring this up is because we're starting to see a lot more people get to realize the strength of people online and how much they impact everybody's lives. I remember when the Super Best Friends did all of these like box opening things where they had mail come in and they'd be like, oh my god, you sent us a box set of like Gurren Lagann. You're insane. This is crazy. This is amazing. And yeah, it's amazing. We're giving this to you because you have brought so much joy, entertainment, and passion to our lives that then let us live that exact same way, that we want to give you some of that back. And it's not possible to quantify just how much passion and love and support just them being around can do to somebody, which you're starting to see a lot in the VTuber sphere too. A lot of people don't realize just how important they are to the communities that they do have. I know, I'm not gonna toot my own, no. Actually, let me bring this up, yeah. There's a streamer who I've known for over a decade, Shubabang. I've known her in my past life. She recently had a house fire. And everything was handled. She was able to move. Not a lot of crazy bad stuff happened. However, she got hit with those really bad bills for her pets to have them checked up, get help with smoke inhalation, all that type of stuff. The cats are all perfectly healthy now. But at the time, she had to like get $1,000 or so to help to pay back what she borrowed to get them to the vet. And her community filled that up in one stream. And she's like, I didn't expect for y'all to do that. And I'm like, listen, like, when you spend so much time with people, you aren't asking anything of them either. You're not like, hey, I need you to buy this shirt. Hey, I need you to follow, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I need you to do all of this for me. And then you're like, hey, I'm actually going through something. I actually legitimately do need some help. Of course, people are going to help you. Like, you're not just some random person online to the people that watch you. Like, you're a person, you're a friend, you're somebody that they want to support and they want to root for. And that's why I think VTubing is really cool, because you get to see all these people supporting somebody just for their personality. Not for the way that they look, not for the way that they, not for necessarily things that they do, but for their personality and the person they want to be. You know, you get to see people, you get to see their dreams, and you get to be a part of helping them reach their dreams. And I think that's pretty fucking awesome. Which is why I'm so fucking hyped that Woolly Wools of ex Super Best Friends made a tweet saying, hey, Mori Calliope, I would love to have you on Castle Super Beast podcast sometime. We can talk about Guilty Gear. Bro, you know it's going to be lit. You know it's going to be fucking lit. Like, there's so much crossover between the Super Best Friends and VTubing. Because Two Snacks, their previous animator, like, he would always do all of this Super Best Friends animated stuff. And then he branched out into My Little Pony for a while, because he did Two Best Sisters play for a good period of time, which is really fucking funny. But then, after, the best friends split apart, that's when he kind of discovered VTubing along with everybody else, and started being like, oh shit, VTubing is hype as fuck. And it really is, because the reason why I think that, people from the Super Best Friends have such a, connection between the people that are doing VTuber stuff now is the kayfabe. Come on, it's gotta be the wrestling kayfabe. Like, when you're a wrestler, you have your gimmick, you have your shtick, you gotta stick to it, and you can't be too out of character. You can be, but you can't be too much. And, of course, sometimes people go through their moments of being evil, they have their moments of turning good, they have their, story arcs progressing over their own channels, all this type of stuff. It's just like mini wrestling stories. That's literally what VTubing is when it comes to the lore aspect of it. Like, on paper, it's a person streaming. But when you add the anime aspect to it, then it's an entire wrestling plot. Like, oh, okay, let me just use myself. I'm a nightmare. I watch over everybody's futures, and I see the things that are going to affect them. So I send them things to make them more prepared. So, you know how every time you go to school, or maybe even at your job, they have a fire drill to let you know, hey, if there's a fire, this is what you need to do. The nightmares that I send you are like, hey, if this scenario happens, you need to think about what you're going to do and prepare yourself for the worst. That way, when it does, you're prepared. That's how I see nightmares, at least the way I like to give them. Sometimes they might not make sense, but maybe you just gotta dig a little deep to figure out what's going on. But that's why I'm so excited I'm gonna be watching that live. Because I want to know what's gonna go on there. Because I'm so excited for this. Oh my god, I really, really, really hope that they're able to, oh my god, I'm so ready. I'm so ready to see this entire stream, honestly. Yeah, I'm trying to think about what else I really have to talk about. But that was the biggest thing that I was thinking of lately, was just like, oh my god, they're gonna be streaming. This is gonna be amazing. I'm so excited to see what happens. Oh my god. So seeing that, my connection to old streams, seeing those streaming worlds crossover is so entertaining, because I still do watch Wooly. I still watch Pat and Paige. I don't necessarily watch Matt anymore, because he's always been more so about movie reviews and retro Genki games. Let me see, what has he been up to lately? Yeah, he's did a review on Street Fighter the movie, 1994. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that he does is more so like video game documentaries and stuff like that. Oh, he does have some streams he's been doing. Interesting. Okay. Flophouse plays. But yeah, like, a lot of that stuff, it's just not stuff that interests me. I still support him. I still, like, want the best for him, but it's just stuff that doesn't entertain me. Meanwhile, like, Pat and Paige, Pat's just the tiny idiot man. He's always been tiny idiot man. And Paige is tall idiot woman. And together they are medium idiot couple. There we go. And then Woolie's just... Listen. As a black person, having Woolie is a fucking blessing, okay? A world without Woolie is a world, like, not worth it. Remember, that man skipped out on a threesome to play... I'm sorry, just so fucking funny. But yeah, I think about that a lot. It's so fucking funny, the way that he goes about things. Oh my god. I can't wait until I'm finally done from this illness. I don't really have much else to talk about, honestly. Nothing, at least, that everybody else hasn't been saying about the state of the world. Ugh. And now I'm just checking through Reddit to see if there's anything interesting to even talk about. But there really isn't. The only other game I've been playing lately is Honkai Star Rail. So that's been my days, Core Keeper and Star Rail. Maybe I'll finally play Baldur's Gate and actually finish an entire playthrough of it. I want to. I'm just bad at it. I also need to get back to Elden Ring to finish that as well. Right now, everybody else is hooked on Monster Hunter, but I need, like, an extra $2,000 before I'm able to focus on that myself. You know, I think I might go ahead and end stream here, just because I don't have much else to talk about. You know, I've got my maximum amount of complainage in. So let's see what everybody else has been up to today. Let's see. If I want to start a raid, who is live that I am following? Oh shit. Huh. We're gonna go ahead and raid Ayuki Akiba, who is a dear VTuber who is very sweet, very kind, and deserves all the love in the world. Please give her a follow. Please do. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and send a raid her way. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you guys so much, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye!